Live from Denver 7, this is 7 News.
Now that the leaves are turning, believe it or not, it means it's already time to start planting for next spring. Ahead, what you want to plant now so you'll have beautiful blooms later and at a reasonable price. Welcome back. If you want a good return on your landscape dollar, try planting bulbs. Experts say they are some of the easiest flowers to plant, or plants, and you need to think ahead, though, to do these. And joining me right now is Sandra West from the Associated Landscape Contractors of Colorado. Thanks so much for coming in.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I love talking about bulbs. They create such a beautiful carpet of color of purples, reds, and yellows in the spring. After our Colorado winter, you really look forward to that.
Absolutely. So where do you begin as far as selecting bulbs?
There is such a wide variety now. There's new hybrids coming out all the time. And don't limit yourself to just the tulips and daffodils, the hyacinths that everyone's familiar with. The trick is to achieve the look that you want, to get a range of not just the height and color, but also the bloom time. You can actually create a collection of bulbs that will give you continuous color in your garden from March until June.
Oh, and that would just be gorgeous, because then the summer flowers start coming in. So really, you're talking about a really good chunk of time where you can have some really beautiful color in your yard. How many bulbs should you plant? Because you mentioned planting a lot of different varieties so that you do have that color that continues throughout the spring.
Right. The quantity of bulbs is very important. It's critical to getting that effect, because bulbs do look better en masse and in swaths and things like that. The simple answer is probably more than you think.
Really?
The rule of thumb that I use is 25 daffodils, 50 tulips, or 100 minor. The smaller the bulb, the more that you want of them to create that effect that you're looking for.
Absolutely. Okay. Walk through those numbers one more time. 50 daffodils,
50
100
daffodils,
tulips,
50 tulips.
50 tulips.
Large, the daffodils are larger,
right.
tulips are medium, so there's going to be about 50 of those, and then 100 of the minor. That's the crocus, the snowdrops, the glory of the snow, and they're about that big.
Wonderful.
So
I'm making those mental notes, as I'm sure many of our viewers are, which is why I asked you to repeat. And then, of course, because you want to get these in the ground early before the ground freezes, is now the time? Should you wait a couple more weeks still? And how do you go about doing it?
Well, even though you see them in the stores, it's actually not time to plant yet.
Okay.
The bulbs respond to soil temperature and the sunlight. They don't respond to the calendar.
Okay.
So you know how unpredictable weather is here.
Sure.
Lisa tells you that all the time. So what you really want to do is wait for the temperatures to go down, for the soil temperature to be about 55 degrees. That's usually after your first frost.
Okay.
But don't wait too long. You do need to have them in before the ground freezes, like you say. It should be 4 to 6 weeks before it freezes to get them in.
Okay, so just after the first frost, because that starts cooling things down just a little bit. All right, and you brought all these great tools, because we're going to talk about how you go about planting them. If you get the bulbs now, can you hold on to them until that first frost and then plant them?
Yes, you can. Just make sure they're in good circulation and vary about 50 to 70 degrees. Don't put them in direct heat or where they can get direct frost on them either.
All right. The good news is I have planted bulbs before, and it is pretty easy, because I am no green thumb.
It is. It really is.
So you brought some tools to help people out.
Yeah, this is the standard bulber that most people are familiar with. They have changed a little over time. They used to be straight edge, and you'd have to turn upside down and bang it to get the soil out. Now they have this lovely release mechanism. Get this, it's going to be worth it, trust me.
And it tells you how far down to plant them in a lot of ways.
It does.
Also, right?
Most of them have a scale on here, 1 to 6 inches, so you know you're planting at the right depth. That depth is normally 3 times the height of the bulb. So again, the smaller bulbs will not be as deep. The tulips and daffodils will be much deeper.
Okay, great.
6 to 8.
And you said this is your favorite tool.
That
Why
is my favorite.
You can tell it's been used a lot.
Yes, definitely. This is my little hog that I love to use, because I normally put a lot of groups together. I don't normally do one at a time, and these are better for the small amounts, of the groups of the small ones. But if you're putting in 5 to 10 daffodils or tulips, that's going to take a while. This is perfect. You literally you can sit on the ground, so you can sit down while you're working, which I love.
It's nice.
Easy on the back, as is this.
Sure.
And just pull the soil back, drop the bulbs in, and then release, and you're planted.
And it's easy as that.
Yeah, this bulb auger is also quick. If you've got some clay soils or some harder soils to dig into, you just attach this to your regular drill, and this will spin your soil right out.
Corkscrew, great. Well, Sandra West, thank you so much for coming in this morning and sharing so many great ideas for all of us as we prepare now for the springtime going into the fall. We really do appreciate it. If you would like more information, you can log on to thedenverchannel.com. Click on that big red TV button, and we'll connect you with the Associated Contractors of Colorado.